Let's go through and see what Google's got going on lately with AdWords campaigns. We're going to start a new campaign and walk through the steps. So we'll click on this new campaign green button here on the page. And then we've got to decide what kind of campaign we want to set up. Now, if you're just getting started to AdWords and you're new, which if you're watching this video and need the help, then most likely you're new. So you need to go. You need to start, kind of simply. Uh, so I would say we do not want to do a search and display networks ad, but just a search network only. Display network is going to show on other websites, and you'll get a lot of impressions, very few clicks. It'll hurt your quality score, and so it's best to start with just the search network only. The display network is for advanced users. You'll name your campaign, and you can name that whatever you might want to do related to your site. I've got one here specifically that I'm running currently for one of my websites, and then I have other campaigns underneath that. And so perhaps you have a site on pet beds. So you would name this maybe pet beds. So we name our campaign. You'll want to do the standard type ad here. The standard is going to give you the basics with keyword targeted text ads showing on Google search results, so just Google search. And you'll see these little question mark icons here that will give you some clarification. They're actually very good, so you can look at those to read to get more insights on some of these things. All features would allow you to do like image ads and other options that again we don't really need if we're just doing a basic text ad. Okay. Next we need to look at the networks, what networks we want to do. I would suggest you do not include search partners. So we're going to uncheck that. We're going to leave it just to Google Search Network only. All devices is fine. Locations, I would recommend as you're starting this to focus just on the United States as your location. And then we could maybe branch out to US and Canada and then other countries later on. You'll want to set for bidding and budget. I'll manually set my bids for clicks, so you have the ability to set that where you want it. Notice the default bid here. It's got some explanation here. We'll use your default bid for clicks on your ads unless you set unique specific bids. Your ads will show less once you near your budget limit on clicks and so on. So we could put a default bid here. I generally recommend putting that high because some of your bids you may need to bid high. So we may need $1.50 on some key phrases, for example, within the campaign, and we'll have to come back and change this if it's too low. So if we set that at $2, we're not saying that we're going to do $2, but we know that we have that ability to go up that high. And then we put in a daily budget. Generally speaking, if you're not doing at least $15, $20 a day, you're not running it right to get enough data to see whether it's working anyway. At this time, I don't recommend worrying about anything with ad extensions. So these are the basics. We're going to save and continue. Okay. Now we have the ability to go in and create our ad groups. Okay, so now we get to create our ad groups, and I've looked at one of my sites to get a page that I would like to link to, and so it's asking us where do we want to link, and so we can go direct to a product page. I would say that's your best bet, is to take an exact product page and create an ad directly for that page, or at least a category page. And so we can let's go with this page URL, and we can just paste that in here so that we're going direct to that ballet tutu page. We can name this ad group according to that page. So since this is ballet tutus, then we'll put that in as our ad group name. Now we've got to find keyword phrases that we want to target for that particular ad. Now I recommend that as you're getting started, you do only one ad per ad group. And so even though you can do multiple ad groups here, uh, and Google will tell you that, I would recommend that we do just one ad per ad group, um, with keywords directly related to that ad and the page. So we'll put our keyword phrases in here, with things like maybe we could do dance tutus. We could choose something from their phrases here, or we can take this one and put that right in there. Okay. Um, we could do a similar phrase as well. Okay. And then we click new ad group. Or I'm sorry, we don't want new ad group. We want to just continue with that one. So we've got some keywords to start. We've got our ad group name. Um, Continue to ads. This blue button down here is what we want. Now we're going to create the actual ad. Okay, so we can put that right here, our headline for the ad. And I recommend that you do capitalize each word there. It stands out to people, so it's better to do that. We want to use the key phrases we're targeting in our ad title, and at least once in one of these lines here in the ad description area as well. Now, as we create the ad and the content, if we click outside of there, we can see they're highlighting these in red, and they're going to state here, oops, some of the information you entered is too long. Please shorten the information in the fields marked red. So it's too red, so or too long, so we've got to shorten this. Okay. So with this one, we could do something like this: toddler tutus, dress up tutus, more. With this line here, we offer great prices on ballet tutus. So what we could do here is change this to great prices on, let's see if we can get the word toddler in there. Nope. On ballet tutus. We could put maybe fun, just to get another word in there. Okay. So we're using most of what we have available for our space here. Over here it shows us what the ads will look like. So if they're over on the side, they're going to look like this, stacked. If it's at the top in the middle of the page, it's going to look more like this right here, with one line. Okay. So that shows us our ad. Now we can click Save, and we've created our ad. Okay. So we only want the one ad at this time to work with. Now, once we have completed this, we can, let's see, we've got review campaign. We can click on bid budget. We'll go ahead and click save and finish. And we've got it running now. Okay. Now we can come in here and we can edit this if we want to. We could go to over on the left, you have your campaign. We have the ballet tutus ad group. We can come into that ad group and we can say, all right, these are my key phrases that I want running. Yes, that's correct. I might want to add some. Maybe I want the singular ballet tutu and ballet, or toddler tutu. Maybe toddler ballet tutu. Ballet toddler tutu. You know, we might use some variations of the phrase, but don't bid on any phrase in your keywords list here that isn't in your ad. Any phrases that you bid on should be in the ad. Okay. And then also those phrases should be on the page too. So if you go to the ad page, we need to have that terminology on the page. Now this particular site is showing the title of the product as a image, and so that doesn't count as text. And so we've got to look at the actual text in here, and so this may need to be updated if it doesn't contain toddler tutu and ballet tutu in the text, and so that's something that you would want to update. And it looks like I do need to update that one for this particular terminology. So you would go in and edit the page content or the description so that it uses the keyword that you're targeting in your ad, so that everything is consistent. That will help you get a good quality score, which you can see by going to this little bubble here. It'll start low, but as you start getting impressions and clicks, you get a good click-through rate, you're in a good position, this quality score will rise and go up. And of course we want to get as close to 10 as possible. I generally say if it's 7 or above, you're doing pretty good. And then you want to just, once you've got that running for a few days, you come in and look at these metrics. And the most important thing is you want to see the average position above probably 4. I would say 1, 2, or 3 are the best positions to be in, maybe 4 sometimes. And your click-through rate should be above 1%. So that shouldn't be too hard to get. If you're seeing thousands of impressions here and very few clicks and your click-through rate's below 1%, then the next thing I would look at is your position. And if your position is 5, 6, 7, 8, or 10, those are low positions on the page. Now if we look at the page results, let's just do a search here so you can see where this would show up. So for this search term here, this is an ad right here. DiscountDance.com is bidding on this ballet tutus phrase. Okay, so they're showing up at the top. Over here, these are ads as well, and these are image ads that are created, and then down here we have additional ads. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and we go on down the row there. So most people are going to click either here or over here, maybe down to this one. Okay, but they're not going to go very much further down the page generally. And those that are below the fold, they're below the bottom of the page when we first come up, they're not even going to look at those. So if our ad is showing up down there, we're getting impressions because technically it showed on the page. Customers aren't even seeing it, they're not clicking on it. That's going to hurt our quality score. Okay. So if our position is not in the top 3 positions, that means we aren't bidding enough to get it up there. If we've had several clicks and a whole bunch of impressions, we've run it for maybe 5 days, 7 days, but we're not in the right positions, then rather than trying to bid higher and adjust this, it's best to just pause this ad group right up here and start a new ad group. Okay, or even delete it entirely and get rid of it because it's not doing us any good. We gotta start over and fix the ad group by creating a new one. Okay, so that's what we look for, and we've just got to test it to see what kind of results we're getting.